Please forgive me, I'm a little under the weather this time around. Yes, I know what you all are thinking, and no, I do not think watching My Adventures with Superman made me sick. Not so sure about the acolyte, though. Right, so, yeah. Time to get into this week's episode of My Adventures with Superman, where we discover that if you want to brainwash somebody, it's best to do it in the absolute dumbest way possible, because that apparently works for some reason. Don't ask me why, but let's get into this while I try to make sense of why this thing is even still going on. So, as we enter into this episode, Superman is of course unconscious after having been knocked out yet again by Brainiac or something, because like every week somebody just knock you out, beat him up, terrorize him, something like that. This is what's going on. And Brainiac puts on this, the kind of same Kryptonian projection thing that Kara had put on to show him visions of Krypton. Apparently it's called the Black Mercy. Now, before, the Black Mercy was a plant that when it attached itself to you, it would trap you in this dream of happiness that you have, you know, say, be completely unaware. Would have been cool if they had gone that way, but no, they decided to go this. And the whole thing about why Brainiac wants is that he tells Superman that Kandor, which is the ship that he's on, is falling apart. His consciousness is eroding. So he wants to put himself into Superman's body because he can't allow the ship and everything to die. Now, I mean, just maybe, right? Just maybe here. Instead of sending Kara to destroy all these planets that she went to, might have been sensible to get some technology from them that could have, you know, repaired your ship and yourself and make it better. Perhaps that would have seemed a really sensible thing to do. But when you're a technological dumbass, you don't think about that. You just decide, you know, let me go send my brainwashed Kryptonian girl to destroy planets while my ship falls apart. So I hope and pray that I run into another Kryptonian so I could jack his brain, you know, because all of a sudden now Brainiac is a mind rapist. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So much fun. He's in there with Superman and, you know, the normal back and forth banter nonsense that nobody about. And then his thing is that he keeps taking Superman back to these memories that he has. Takes him back to when he's fighting Livewire, which again was pretty pathetic, and you know, that's what's going on. And he's all about, yes, and I'm like, Jesus, dude, it's not theater. Tone it down a little bit, you know? He's just in there beating the crap out of him. So anyway, we get Lois and Jimmy and Brain and Marla on the ship, and they encounter Kara. And Lois is there holding the little orb thing that have the kryptonite in it. And Jimmy is there flirting with Kara. And I must say, boy, it is adorable, the two of them. It's so adorable, the two of them, and how little awkward they are and thing. You know, it's so much better than that toxic relationship Clark and Lois has, but that's what's going on. So he invites her on board the ship, and they come on there, and you know that, like I said, they're flirting back and forth kind of thing there. And then Lois goes to square off with Kara, comes all up in her face and thing, and you're the one who kidnapped Clark. And Kara is you're the one from Kal-El's memories who abandoned him. And I'm like, Lois, you really want to come and square up with her? I mean, one finger flick and your insides will literally paint that ship. But apparently she wants to do that. So Kara is convinced that Brainiac is malfunctioning because she went back to the planets and realized what happened, that, that she destroyed all these planets and stuff like that. She thinking that Brainiac is malfunctioning and that's what's causing him to do this. I mean, it's not like you haven't heard him say many times the evil, horrible things that he's planning to do, but whatever, you know, she had to believe what she got to believe. We get back to it again, and it's more of Superman fighting Livewire, and Brainiac is all, oh, she challenged you physically, but not mentally. So they go now to when he was fighting Ivo as this big thing that he turned into, that big parasite thing he turned into. And then he notices Jimmy and Lois. As has to realize that they have a deeper connection to him. So he needs to find out what that is. Goes back again, he keeps going further and further into his memories. And then his whole thing that he turns around and tells the actors that he doesn't want to protect them. He wants to keep them, protect them not from Brainiac, but from himself, because he's basically trying to say that, you know, he doesn't think that he belongs there with them. He doesn't belong on Earth. And I'm like, didn't we go through this shit in season 1? We went through this in season 1 where he was all, you know, he's scared about being an alien, and you know, Jimmy was the one who actually made sense to them that, you know, he doesn't care that he is whatever, he's his best friend, like that. Okay, we did all of that in season 1. Why are you trying to drag this up like he still has all these deep-seated you know, worries about, oh, he's an alien and this is Earth. I mean, come on now, man. You've been on Earth since you were a baby. That's pretty much not really a whole thing about it. Superman is Superman. He's Clark Kent. He's all the stuff that rolls in there. But they're trying to play this out like he has this deep-seated fear that, you know, he doesn't really belong on Earth or all this. It's really, really stupid. It's neither stupid. So Kara and Jimmy and Lois are making a plan to get on board Kando, because Brainiac have to shut down his servers once a day to reboot and everything, so they want to sneak on there with that, leaving Marla and Brain on board the ship to do more of their weird cross-species tinkering with things, and God alone knows what else they might do. Who knows? So they go out there, and yeah, I'm telling you, it's really adorable when these two look at us. That's so adorable. So very, very adorable when these two. So they get on board the ship and stuff. Kara gives them the directions to where she believes Superman is. Two of them there are telling you real big little floating back and forth nonsense and all of that. It's good. We get back to Brainiac, who's still in the process of mind raping Superman. Apparently that's a thing. Yeah, and then he decides that, you know, he's going to manipulate Superman's memories by trying to show him that, you know, he doesn't belong on Earth, that nobody cares about him, nobody likes him, they want him gone. So he goes back to the conference thing that at Star Labs that Lex Luthor and Jimmy was at, and the whole Earth is for Earthlings nonsense there, and you know, the Superman problem and all of that. And then he talks about, he go back to when Superman only overheard part of this conversation between Lois and her dad, when Lois said that yes, talking about Clark, I said that yes, he's strange about it, when he heard part of that. And then he goes back to when Clark was calling Jimmy, and you know, he saw that he ignored his call, and he was running off with Kara there. Okay, and then the part when Lois jumped off the building, I tried to stop her and all of this. And the whole thing is, he's telling Brainiac, you can't control me, this isn't real, and all of this stuff and the other. So what does he start to do now? Literally start to change the memories, right? Start to change the memories, to have Lois talking and saying, I thought Superman was a hero, but he's not. He's a menace. He needs to leave and all of this, and it's just ridiculous. So meanwhile, back on the ship, Lois and Jimmy show up, see the place where Superman was battling Brainiac's robots. Everything comes back online. They take off running. Kara confronts him, and he tells her how, you know, she's such a disappointment, and he had to do things. And the thing about it is that he says this to her, like, you know, she brought these every time she came to him and told him about this new world and how it could join the Empire. She was too weak to destroy it, so he had to take control of her mind to do it, so he could build a better Krypton. What better Krypton are you building? You're destroying these worlds, killing the inhabitants. What kind of Krypton do you want? A graveyard? What are you doing this for? I mean, it would be one thing if he had like genetic samples of Kryptonians and he was planning to clone them and bring them back and, you know, make some great empire or something. But nothing he's doing makes any sense. You are going from planet to planet with Kara, destroying worlds, wiping out civilizations, and then you just move on. And you keep talking about how you want to build this empire and all of this. And it's like, what empire are you building? I tell you, they're trying to borrow from Invincible, but doesn't make any sense. At least the Viltrumites conquer a world and then rule it. This idiot is just destroying everything and moving on. What exactly is your plan here? It makes no sense whatsoever. So he tells her she's weak a lot, and then she realizes what he did, and she feels all hurt and betrayed, and she decides to attack him. Right. Back into the mind raping now, and he's still manipulating the memories to show him Lois talking about how Superman is a freak and he needs to leave, and and Superman is telling Brainiac, this isn't real, you're only manipulating memories and stuff. But then he actually takes control of his own mind for a moment, and goes back to the memory of the whole thing that happened with Mr. Mitzelplick, you know, and shows this happy memory and tells Brainiac, this is reality. This is what's real. And Brainiac is like, are you sure? And then takes him back to another memory now where Lois's father was going and shoot him, and manipulates it to have Lois pick up the gun and decide to finish him off, right? And the thing about it is that how this makes no sense is that every time he's doing this, every time he's manipulating these images, these memories, sorry, the images start to glitch, so you know it's not real. But for some reason, we're supposed to believe that Superman feels like, you know, nobody loves him, and this and that, and this is how they feel. These are your memories. You know exactly what this is. It may have worked, right? This may have worked. If the citizens of Earth had turned against him, if maybe, you know, they had all decided that they didn't need Superman anymore. Maybe they started pelting him with all kind of things and telling him go home, and he felt so alone and hurt and like that. Maybe you could have manipulated like that. But none of these things make any sense. You know these are your memories. You know he's manipulating them, but for some reason you're falling for it. God, and just keeps doing it. One memory after that, and then he gets to the memory where Lois decided to break up with him because again she's a jealous, annoying pain in the ass. Understand me? And he tells him, "Otto, is this memory fake?" And he's about, no, it's real. And okay, so she said, you know, when break up with you, okay, it's not the end of the world. Come on now. But no, that's supposed to be this hard-hitting thing for him and whatever. So that happens, and memory gets, and that he says the breakdown. Kara is fighting Brainiac, and then when Kara punches him in reality, Superman apparently breaks free and punches Brainiac inside his mind. Right, and in doing so, he's apparently broken free. And then he flies off the ship. Well, you know, once that happens, you know, he flies off the ship and is running through the cornfield, and he's Ma, Pa, I'm back, I'm home, I'm home. And he's running through there, and what does he find? His Kryptonian family. Oh, this. Yeah. He's running through there. He sees this thing there, like it's not even though it's clearly Krypton or some kind of variation of it. Yeah. And he sees his Kryptonian family there. Right? He sees his Kryptonian family. And when he sees them now, he's suddenly so overcome with joy and thing, and yes, I'm home. And he runs and turns into a little boy and goes over and embraces them. Yeah, runs over to them, all happy and thing, and embraces them. And this makes absolutely no sense. We have never seen in season 1 or in this season Superman ever wanting to be anything or have anything to do with his Kryptonian heritage. He literally went out of his way to reject it more than once. He doesn't know these people. He has no idea who they are, what's going on. No, he has a family on Earth, his mother and father, who love him very much. You understand? You've done nothing to set this up, but you're expecting everybody to believe that all of a sudden he's going to want his Kryptonian family just because. This makes no sense. I mean, you could have had Brainiac trap him in a happy memory on Earth. You know, people love him and everything. He and Lois are back together, his parents and everything. That could have possibly worked, but no. No, you set up this whole thing now where suddenly he runs back to his Kryptonian family, who he's never wanted anything to do with any of them. But what we're all supposed to believe, he just suddenly wants to do this now. God, make it make sense now, people. God, but when that happens now, Brainiac takes control of Superman's body and starts beating the crap out of everybody. Yes, because this apparently is a new age look, people. You know, a Brainiac symbol on your forehead, dark eyes with red pupils and a 1960s haircut. That's what's going on. And then he starts to tell them that, you know, this is when he's beating up Kara about how this is what Krypton was the pinnacle of our existence. Each person was genetically bred to be perfect. I was created to be the perfect singularity, the perfect intelligence for Krypton. But then eventually they all changed. They became weak, and their weakness infected me. And, you know, I mean, like, at some point, could you just let us all know that, you know, Brainiac is the one who destroyed Krypton and move on? Come on, now, you're dragging this out a little too long. Give some context to what's going on. But no, again, I pretty much knew what's going to happen. You're going to take over Superman's body, and then you're going to head to Earth to try and destroy it, and then, you know, Kara and Jimmy and Lois are going to have to show up to try and stop him, because that's what it is. Yeah, so he's there and stuff, and talk about how he still loves Kara and all kind of thing. Jimmy tries to use the kryptonite on him, but it's only affecting Superman's body and Kara. It's not doing anything to Brainiac. He says that he could just jump to another body anytime he wants. So he opens up the one of the panels there and sucks them out into space. Kara saves them and takes them. Mala and Brain bring them onto the ship. And they're all there wondering what to do now because they have no idea. And then Lois decides that, you know, she's going to save him. She has the Black Mercy thing there. Why? There was never any indication as to anybody telling her what it was, anybody telling her what it could do, nothing. She just saw it and decided she's going to grab it, and then how does that make any sense? You don't know what this thing is, but she picks it up and says that, you know, she's going after Clark. She's going to save him. So she puts it onto her forehead, and Stanley screams out and goes in with some kind of catatonic state. And that's the long and short of it. Yeah, and that's the episode. That's the episode. Brainiac leaves with his ship. I'm assuming he's heading to Earth. Lois is in a catatonic state because, you know, they are going to have to battle Superman on two fronts. Kara is going to have to battle Brainiac Superman physically, Lois is going to go into his memories and his mind prison, after the mind raping and get him to fight back so he could break free of it. And when Superman shows up on Earth to do all of this now, Waller and the rest of them are going to be waiting there to attack. Yeah, that's supposed to happen. I think, like, apart from the whole cute scenes between Jimmy and Kara, this whole pathetic mind raping thing made no sense. The outcome was stupid, and we all pretty much know where this is going. My rating for this episode, I'll give this one a 1.5 out of 5. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. If you have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it. If you like the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell to be notified every time I put out a new video. And I shall see you all next time. Take care.